Hello everybody, this is Roman, and as you might have heard, there was recently a posting for the position of secretary. So this is something that as mail comes in and it keeps coming in, for the most part when I do the mail reads it's all random, when I do the books it's all random. There's no filtering or figuring out what's good, what's bad. Um, what I wanted to do, while sometimes the hit and miss things may be more maybe funnier, it's something where still want to make sure I still get to the good things, or even classifying it so that way there could be kind of different focuses. So maybe sometimes it's questions, maybe sometimes it's complaints, maybe sometimes I just want to just read junk mail just to see what kind of garbage people throw in there. But the whole point was just to have things sort of categorized. I love putting things into buckets and making sure everything is kind of in its own separate little place. You might have noticed I came out here. I am in the Barrens, and I am floating in front of a statue of myself. Sometimes I find that helps me think. So what I've gone ahead and done, I've also a statue of myself while looking at yet another statue of myself in the background. So it's really a two for deal there. What I did was I took all the applications that there were. There was actually a really good number of them, so I really like the enthusiasm, people wanting to do that. Just like everything else, some things are going to be better than others. Um, with the applications, really no different. A lot of them are just kind of, hey, I want to apply. Great, but not like a lot of thought that went into this. So what I've done, I've taken the applications and I actually read through every single one of them to see sort of what things I liked, what things I didn't. I'm not going to go through some of the applications that didn't make it, but what I will say, maybe if you said, hey, I applied for this lord and this lord, yeah, that's not going to work. I am I don't want to say, well, I'm not a fan of sharing for the most part. So when it comes to saying you want to split your time between me and someone else, that's not going to work. So this is going to be a role for me and me only. It's just one of those. It's just kind of the way it's got to be. Proximity to location, really of no impact whatsoever. You could have been right next to the mailbox. The effort for me to travel from one place to another, funny enough, not that tough. So also, if you wanted to just message me and say you wanted to play games with me, I appreciate the thought for that, but not something that really is going to endear me for the actual secretary position. Also, we may rename this to assistant or something slightly more politically correct, since I think secretary has kind of gone by the wayside. But we'll come up with some other sort of title so that way this makes a little bit more sense. Also, just as a heads up, there will be not like a full home renovation, but there essentially will be an office installed in your house. Now, granted, when I'm limited by the amount of characters that I can say, I can't put every single detail in there. But a lot of you guys picked up on the clues of some changes will be made. Essentially, your house will be filled with a ridiculous amount of chests because I want to sort everything in a certain ways, and we'll have it all figured out. So don't you worry about that. I actually went through and took a look at a lot of the houses for people on this list to see what would work and what wouldn't. Dependent upon that, some people might or might not have fallen out of consideration. But again, this is not necessarily arbitrary process, but I went through a bunch of different kind of factors to figure out what would actually work. But what I wanted to do, just to kind of give a little bit of credit where credit's due, is read off some of the applications that we have here. So I have it down to 7 that I'm really big fans of, and I'd say these are all very good contenders. As far as the winner, well, we'll see what happens when we get to the end of the application. So I'm just going to go down the list. These are actually in no particular order. I just was one of those. I said liked, move it to the left, and then didn't like, moved it to the right, and just eventually this is what I ended up with. So don't think, oh, I'm reading yours last, that means something, or I'm reading yours first. Doesn't mean anything. So just take a look at the first one, just so we'll go with the name. This is from the Minecraftian. Let's see what we got here. Also, the other reason I came out here is there's no chest for me to break, so there's already enough videos of that. So this way is something different. Okay, my name is Mike Craftian, and I would like the job of being your secretary. You're awesome, and I would love to be your slave as a secretary. Slave, not necessarily a requirement, but again, nice sentiment that you see it that way. I won't go on and make you read. That's my job. Haha, perfect. Too long didn't read. Stop reading and let me read for you. Excellent. See, he already understands kind of what the job is of figuring out what's on there so that way we can be as efficient. Really, the big upside for this is I could probably get through so many more things once everything is sorted. So really, really looking forward to this. Let's go to the second one, Birdie Bird. I think almost everyone put their name in there, but I'm not sure. So, my name is Birdie Bird. I recently moved to this lovely town a few weeks ago. I recently lived in Danksburg. While living there, I attended school specifically for becoming a secretary. So, if you do accept my application, I can promise two things. I will bring you tacos. I have a certain set of skills. With this set of skills, I will find a book, and I find you a book, and I will tell you if it's good or not. All right, so a little Taken reference going on there. That's definitely a big plus. Tacos, actually, it depends on what's kind of going on with the tacos. Thank you for your consideration on my application, which much praise, Peasant Birdie Bird. So, good, strong contender. List some of his skills. Look, he went to school for this. It's really hard to kind of dispute with that. I'm not saying you had to have gone to secretary school, but it's one of those things where if you could check that box, it just makes you look that much better. Plus, apparently, we could talk about Taken. Let's see. Third one. Actually, you know what? We're gonna move around here. We're gonna look at my butt. Yeah, a little bit of a flat butt, kind of like an old man one. Let's see. Third one. I would be your secretary. I will allow you to remove my old home and make a new one. I can make it to be able to hold as many chests for mail as possible to separate only the mail that you want. Bulge 9. See, so big thing there. He knows things are gonna happen to his house. That is perfectly fine. So very simple. Didn't necessarily need to get into the skills, but hey, really we're talking about sorting mail here. This isn't something where you need to talk about you were a doctor or you did, we're in the Peace Corps. It's a mail sorter. Let's see. Number 4. Hello, Roman. My name is Twiglets. I live in the Dwarven District, about 200 blocks away from the post office. I really wonder if he counted that. If he did, that would be kind of impressive. In fact, I might go off and see where it is and count it and see how close to 200 he is. That might even factor in. If he gets like to the final 3 or something and he's like off by, I give him 15%. So that way 30 blocks. We'll see if he's close. Who knows? As well as me being close to the post office, I'm on a lot of Lords of Minecraft, so I can go on a check and make sure no one is putting junk into your post box. If I do get picked this job for my Lord, I'll make sure that junk will be sorted and questions and other books in the view of the Lord. So that junk will be sorted and questions and other books in the view. Okay, so basically the list of the categories. Got it. So you know what you get out for your YouTube videos, so you don't have to search for books. You want to read in your post box. Excellent. So you wouldn't actually be checking the mail. I'd still have to deliver it. So you'd have no access to the mailbox. But again, that's totally okay. Let's do, what do we got this one? All right, Scarabin. Qualifications. Currently unemployed. Yeah, I've been there. I read quickly and well. I would like to think you, Rob, and Deadbones would know that I'm trustworthy. And I'm trustworthy. Process. I think the easiest way to be to just add a basement to the post office, then everything could be sorted by Lord and by category in sort of a mini warehouse. I'd like to take on a mail sorting as a project. If you don't choose me, that's fine. You guys are still great mates, Scarabin. So here's the thing about that. Again, it comes down to the sharing thing. Again, you're not talking about loaning yourself out to other lords, but sort of more, you want to be more of a postmaster general thing. Not something that we're looking for. This is I want to have my mail sorted. How the other lords want to do things, totally up to them. Not going to worry about it. And we'll just go take a look at this other statue, because why not? All right, second to last one. All right, Celadine, a.k.a. Celery. Somewhere, Southshire, Dongdank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm applying for the position of secretary for Lord Roamin to sort through his mail and notes, and books for various needs. Summary of skills can type 60 to 70 words per minute. Not really a whole lot of typing. It's really mostly a sorting. But familiar with sorting through letters, my junk mail is always filtered before emptied. Can read, good at following orders. Educational summary, I read well enough for a peasant, where bars are more common than schools. Overall summary, I love to read and have a library card. I totally missed that the first time around. And visit often. People probably don't even know really what the library is all about anymore. Back in my day, yeah, we actually used to go to the library and get books out. Oh my God, paid so much in overdue fees. Like, we were terrible at returning books. But whatever, it was totally worth it. Great way to get started reading. So if you don't go to the library, I recommend it. It's especially now. I think you can get like audiobooks. I think some places you can get movies from the library. They actually have been expanding and sort of modernizing more. So definitely a good thing to take a look at. All right, dearest Roman, I would make a badass secretary. Okay, badass, like it, because I love to compliment people and I love to make situations awkward. Story of my life, I do nothing but make situations awkward. I've always been that guy that says that thing that maybe everyone's thinking, but it's smart enough to not say it. And then I just kind of blurt it out. It's like, oh, am I not supposed to say that? Yeah, that happens. Plus, that would convince me to get a way better computer. I have no idea why you would need a better computer to read mail. I also love to read books both in game and IRL. Either way, secretary or peasant, all have fun. Thanks, mate. Smiley face. Okay, so these are. Oh, that was Kylie S. Okay, so I think that Kylie's the only person that didn't put their name in there. Okay, so those are the top 7 for the secretary list. What I will be doing is, now keep in mind, secretary is going to be sorting, but there may be changes in processes, things that come up. At least need to know kind of somewhat availability. You don't necessarily just going to be hidden in the background shuffling behind things. I mean, bet on it. Don't get me wrong. That's what you should plan for. But you never know what's going to pop up. So what I will do is when we actually are setting up or pick the secretary and do the remodelings, we'll probably, you'll see then who the actual winner was. If you are one of these 7 people, let's see, I should be around on Saturday afternoonish, and hopefully you will be too, and we kind of figure out what we're going to do and how to get that all sorted out. But really excited about the enthusiasm. I like the setting up of the position, and I'm looking forward to having the first one, because really, who doesn't want to be first and best? And we're going to be both. So thank you guys for submitting, putting all that work in the applications. If I didn't read your application, it's not because it's terrible. Just didn't quite meet what I was looking for. But that's okay. I kind of like this idea of a secretary thing. So sure, we got the squires and we got the secretary. So who knows? We may come up with other things. So don't think that just because you weren't met the first cut on secretary that you wouldn't make the cut on maybe some other kind of position. I don't know. But either way, it was awesome, and I look forward to working with my new secretary and seeing how efficient this new system is. I think it's going to really pay off and make everything better. It's one of those, if I can get, yeah, you guys did a good job so far. So hopefully this all works out, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.